6 minutes nearly late for kick-off here. We're getting off around our old grand final proportions, John Keir.
Well, it'll be worth waiting for, Matt, believe you me. Well worth waiting for.
So both sides peel away from the ceremony. We've had everything, pageantry, ceremony, anthems and more. We're about to get underway, but first let's have a run through those teams once again. Sam Tompkins is at full-back for England. Dom Young, Callum Watkins, Herbie Farmer, Tommy Makinson across the three quarters. Jack Wellsby and George Williams are the two half-backs. The pack, Chris Hill, Mickey McAlorum, Tom Burgess in the front row. John Bateman, Elliot Whitehead and Victor Radley in the back row. The bench, Morgan Knowles, Mike Cooper, Matty Lees and Mike McMeekin. As for the Papua New Guinea side, well, they have Alex Johnston at fullback, Roderick Tai, Nanny McDonald, Justin Olam and Jimmy Nutlick in their three quarters. Kyle Labert and Lachlan Lamb, the two half-backs. Sylvester Namo, Edwin Epape and Wellington Albert in the front row. Nixon Putt, Reece Martin, the skipper, and Jacob Alick in the back row. The bench is Mackenzie Yeh, Jeremiah Simbican, Watson Boas, and Big Red, as they call him, Dan Russell. So here on 5 Sports Extra, this quarter-final lies ahead. England against Papua New Guinea. We'll have the moment of togetherness in just a moment. The huddle being formed by England. The Papua New Guinea players look as though they're about to go into their own pre-match settler as well. There's no taking away from it. England are a team in form, but they will have studied this Papua New Guinea tip sheet. They don't want it to become a banana skin for them.
No, and it has the potential to be that, Matt. It really does. England need to be on point, because rest assured, this is the PNG Grand Final. There's no doubt about that. They fulfilled their expectations, i.e. getting to the quarterfinals, which ensures qualification for the 2025 World Cup in France. But this is their grand final. They win this, they'll go home national heroes, I'll tell you. I've been to PNG, I know what it's like in Papua New Guinea, and how in the esteem that this great game is held in there. It's their national sport. They win today, they'll be national heroes, believe you me.
Yeah, the towns like Port Moresby and Ley and Mount Hagen will be absolutely buzzing here. Thousands crammed around television sets all around the islands. So here we go. England to get us underway here. Papua New Guinea to field the kickoff. 5 Sports Extra. Matt Newsom and former England boss, current Wales boss, John Keir, and a settler we've seen, a tone setter, as Papua New Guinea bring the ball off the kickoff.
Yeah, it was Wellington Albert, wasn't it? My word, he felt the full physical force there of 4 England defenders with that wall of white. They've kept them in their own 20 for the first 2 tackles. They'll feel that's a little win for them.
Trying to fight their way out this time through Sylvester Namo, who plays it Epape, keeps the ball moving away to that left edge. Again, pumped up carry from the Cummels, but England ready for it that time. Victor Radley bending his back along with John Bateman. There's a couple of back rowers you won't want to tangle with. As the last tackle play comes here from Lachlan Lamb. Hoiks is kicked downfield. It'll come down to Sam Tompkins just outside his own 20. Dom Young gets a chance to stretch his legs early doors here, and he'll be tackled on the 30 eventually. He was almost floating in air as he was carried back towards from where he came by that Papua New Guinea kick chase, but they got it right in the end, England, and they're back on their way.
Well, that was a good set from PNG there. They completed their set, although England restricted them. One thing about this PNG, both kickers are good kickers, Kyle Labert and Lachlan Lamb, and I think you saw the quality of Lamb's kick there and the quality of the chase.
Chris Hill ramping up here for England, up to the 40 centre field. Tackle that time by 2 Papua New Guinea defenders. It'll be McAlorum who finds Tom Burgess. Again, big stomping out 10 metres, skids along and gains a couple of extra ones. Now they're 20 out last tackle here, England. Williams pokes the kick over the top in towards backfield. It's taken by Makinson. Ball squirts loose. Still hasn't been wrapped up. McAlorum eventually taken down. Thrilling start from England. They're really taking Papua New Guinea on here.
What a fantastic end of set that was from George Williams. Just dabbed the kick over the Papua New Guinea line there, just chip kicked it, and Tommy Makinson came up with the ball, kept it alive by releasing it as it hit the floor. but some great scramble defence as well from PNG.
So it's taken up by those Kumuls trying to come off their own end, but England hunting them down.
Yeah, the yardage defence, as it's called for the England team. We attempt to restrict the opposition gaining territory. Is working very well indeed. That's 4 tackles, and they haven't cleared their own 20-metre zone.
Drowning at the moment under pressure from this England side, who are shooting out the line and putting shots on and not missing. Again, they're being forced back towards the 20 here, Papua New Guinea. A really tough set.
But the technique's interesting, Matt, because they're not wanting to take them to ground. They're hitting them, holding, it's called catching them in the technical parlance, and then getting numbers in to drive them back. But again, it's a great kick from Lachlan Lamb, isn't it?
Yeah, finds the figure of Dom Young, but well downfield. And then Dom Young just pushing aside a couple of tacklers as he edges towards halfway. England in the front foot.
That's a big win for England, though, because tackle 2 of this set, they're already in PNG's half, so they'll be delighted how they started this game.
Almost a car crash there as Watkins hit the line. Tom Burgess rumbling forward again. He's been parting this Red Sea of Papua New Guinea shirts early doors here. McAloran finds Williams along the 20-metre line into Whitehead. 18 away. Left-hand side scrum lines into Williams. Back through the middle, they come with Radley. Out the back this time to Wellesby. Oh, he ran into traffic. Ran into Lachlan Lamb, who locked him up.
He had to do as well, because the back rower there, Nixon Putt, he sank in on the lead runner, so did a great job, did Lamb.
Tompkins with the kick through. Knock on. Good spot. So Papua New Guinea being put under the pump here.
Well, they've really started 100 miles an hour, haven't they, England there, and the end of the set there, it was Sam Tompkins who put the ball along the ground, and that's pretty canny playing conditions like this because of the rain that we've had just preceding the kick-off. It'd be very greasy conditions, difficult to pick up, and it was certainly too difficult there for the PNG defenders.
So scrum, head and feed, centre field on the 10.
Well, the stack 4 on one side. They've got a 4-2 split of England, so this will test the defensive capabilities of PNG.
England sniffing some points maybe here. McAloran finds Williams into Herbie Farmer's hands. He jinks back towards the middle. Still going here, Herbie Farmer. Big human being. Oh, couldn't quite get the ball down. Just short of the line. McAloran back to Tom Burgess. Plants his feet and drives, and Tom Burgess might just have squeezed that in, and he has. England hit the front, 4-0, and Tom Burgess, the heavy artillery, unfurled for England.
Well, what England have done, Matt, they've flipped everybody's expectations. They are being much more physical on PNG than anyone expected. Defensively, they've put a marker down, but also how they've carried the ball. I think if we look at the stats at the end of the game, Tom Burgess already has made 3 tackle busts. He's made 4 or 5 carries, but he's made 3 tackle busts, 2 in midfield, and obviously that one on the line. And it's very rare that you would come through the other side of a PNG online defence, but that's exactly what Tom Burgess did. Great strength, great carry, great determination.
Yeah, he held off Nixon Putt, who was clinging on, trying to work him some kind of space. 6 minutes gone, England 4 to the good. What a moment for this England team.
Well, that will have absolutely deflated the Papua New Guinea team. It really will.
Makinson from bang in front. 6-0. And if you made that 3 tackle busts, didn't you? That's 19 for the tournament for Tom Burgess. He is storming.
It really is. Yeah, he's really come to the party, hasn't he, in this World Cup. I would say that his international form's actually been better than his form in the NRL. But he'll be delighted with that, will Tom. But 2 in the last game against Greece. He scored, he tries like a 3-quarter.
And he is so tough to stop in that kind of range. Nenny McDonald then with the kick downfield. England will take it through Wellesby and it's straight into Tom Burgess off the back fence this time. Wellington Albert and Co squeezing in, trying to keep England under wraps, but easier said than done. McIlroy jumps out of acting half.
But what fantastic play from Tom Burgess again, because 4 men in the tackle and he still played the ball, leaving 2 on the ground.
England up to the 30 centre field. McIlroy dishes it up to Radley, plays out the back to Williams. Good hands here from England, nice shape. Makinson skitters back in field, straightens things up here for England. What a ball returner he is. And they're up over halfway. McIlroy, 2 sides of the ruck to hit. Goes right this time, Bateman crabbing. Goes into the teeth, and he got a clatter for his trouble.
Yeah, I think Sylvester Nemo, wasn't it, and put the shoulder in. 6 again. This rule annoys me, Matt, it really does. But anyway, we'll talk about that another day.
McIlroy to Williams, hot step in. Oh, he was leathered.
What a shot there from Rhys Martin.
Right under the rib cage. Tompkins pokes the kick out wide. Makinson! Try for England. 10 points to 0. Kick on the money. What a ball that was behind the back. And there was Tommy Makinson skidding over to score.
Well, that was a great piece of play, wasn't it, from Sam Tompkins. They've been on the front foot. They got a 6 again call again from the referee. And what you're doing, you're not defending a set of 6 now, Matt. In a lot of you're defending sets of 10, and it's virtually impossible to do that. And as Sam Tompkins demonstrated, that's great skill there. He carried the ball aggressively at the defensive line of the Papua New Guinea team. And as he carried it, he saw the gap open up in front and slid the ball through off his foot. Great skill to execute such an accurate kick and well-weighted kick at such pace. And what a pick-up from Tommy Makinson, and who's fully justified his selection on the wing. You know, him and Dom Young before Ryan Hall, who's England's record try scorer. Controversial perhaps, but it's looking the right call.
Yeah, 1 of 3 would have to miss out, and it's Ryan Hall at the moment. And 10 minutes gone. England really taking this game by the scruff of the neck. This quarter-final, the second of 2 games here on Fire Sports Extra. And England going great guns here as Tommy Makinson looks to convert his own score from this left-hand side.
Well, this is the best start of all 4 games for England, no doubt about it. Even the game when they blew Samoa away. This is a really focused and intense start.
Tommy Makinson then swings his right boot. He's pulled that one just wide of the target. 10 points to 0 though the score. And the Princess of Wales, who sat just behind us, Catherine. I'm sure she's enjoying the fare. They've certainly turned up with a royal seal of approval, John.
They certainly have. It's been a great start by England, and you know, Papua New Guinea really have got to weather the storm. They really have. You would think it's impossible for a team to keep up this intensity and focus, but Scotland did it early in the competition. Australia did it early in the competition against Scotland. And look at that carry again from Burgess. He's in great form.
Yeah, they're going to have to drag him off, aren't they? Because I don't think he's going to want to come off at the moment. He is wreaking havoc and enjoying himself here. And the rain looks as though it might just have subsided for a bit. Chris Hill, anything you can do, I can do too, says the big front rower. Up over halfway centre field. McIlroy shift to the right of the ruck. Tompkins through the hands to Bateman. Plenty of talk about his club future, whether it's back down under with the West Tigers or here at Wigan. McIlroy fizzes the pass to Radley. Out to Williams. He isolated the kick in behind, but
poor kick.
Straight down the throat this time of Roderick Tyne.
But they've made a poor kick a great kick with that defensive effort. Again, as we've spoken about, they're not looking to put them to ground. They're looking to hit, catch, get numbers in and drive them back. But this time they drove them over the sideline and have forced a Papua New Guinea error. So it will be England to restart this set. 25 metres away from the Papua New Guinea line. The way England are playing, you wouldn't be surprised if they posted another try in this set.
I mean, that's quite canny as well, isn't it? They know that Roderick Tyne, they know Jimmy Nutley, give them space, they will.
Oh yes,
you.
they are lightning. Yes, they are.
28 minutes of this first half remaining, and England already looking comfortable, looking dominant, looking imposing. Wellesby out the back, Williams, short ball onto Whitehead, who shovels his way into the line and gets an offload away to Tompkins. Second phase here for England. Farmouth looking to bash his way through. He is tackled just a couple of metres away. Left hand side. McIlroy stoops and sweeps out towards Williams. Back onto Heirloo. Picks a point. Centre field.
Well,
5 metres out.
Still 3 tackles left, so. And they're stacked on the right hand side, Matt.
McIlroy out to Williams. Now they've got those numbers. Here comes Wellesby, gets it on, and they're tackled over on that far side through Watkins. 5 metres away. Bit loose that time, was it? Bateman crabbing.
Well, this is the best set of defence for Papua New Guinea on their own line. They've been pretty good this set, but they're still to defend the kick play.
Last tackle then for England. Williams rolls the grubber in behind. It's been patted dead, just about. I thought for a second they got that completely wrong. Williams forcing the drop out. The short kicking game from George Williams in this World Cup has been very good.
It was excellent once again. Again, they've threaded it through the Papua New Guinean defensive line, and it was Nene McDonald who was forced to put the ball over the dead ball line. The weight of possession for England is unbelievable. They're absolutely dominating possession and dominating field position.
Wellesby takes the catch from the dropout. Tom Burgess again puts his hand up. Can't be stopped that time by Albert. Still ploughing a furrow through the middle. Eventually 3 stop him. 20 metres out centre field. Options either side of the ruck for McIlroy as Radley drills straight into that hole behind the ruck. And England are up to the 10. McIlroy surveys his options. Comes centre field. Plays in Williams. They've got numbers and shape. Oh, he's missed out too many people there with the pass behind.
Well, I think McDonald spooked him a little there. He rushed out the defensive line, and I think he changed the pass that George Williams was going to do, and that's good play by the Papua New Guinea centre.
Identifying the threat and proving himself a menace. McIlroy finds Williams. They're 10 metres away. Throws the cutout ball to Farmouth. Almost away. Tackled that time.
The winning thing for PNG is there's so many men left on the ground all the time. Try it
with Bateman. Bateman to Watkins. Finish for Dom Young. He can't stop scoring. That's 9 for England in 4. And another score for the watching Princess of Wales. Applause for England, because they are turning up the heat on Papua New Guinea.
Absolutely fantastic. And in all honesty, Papua New Guinea are going to have to do something special just to get their hands on the ball at the minute, because I haven't got the set count in front of me, but it must be massively in favour of England. And as I said, we've got neck ache by looking to our left. You know, it's been camped on the Papua New Guinean line, and a good kick there. They landed it on the head of Lachlan Lan, who's obviously a small player, and challenged him with a large player going to challenge and knock it back, and it all was in hand. It didn't hit the ground at all, and it just opened up the space for Dom Young to cross in the corner for a real quality try. And this is, by now, what is it, with 16 minutes gone, a quality England performance.
Well, I'll tell you, Josh Addo-Carr's setting a pace at the top, isn't he? He got, was it five last night?
Yep, and he hadn't played in one game.
And he hasn't. Tom Young is only 2 behind him.
He's played a game more, though. But yeah, I mean, Josh Addo-Carr's fantastic, isn't he? And he's a real superstar of the game, and he's won. First of all, he puts bums on seat because you want to watch him, and then he gets bums off seats when he's playing because it's so exciting.
Tommy Makinson then. The rain just slipping down in bucket loads here. No good. Radars have been off today. Tara Stanley found it difficult to get her eye in, and Tommy Makinson missing that one, but lovely build-up from England.
Yeah, and it was Sam Tompkins, wasn't it, that went up. There was obviously great under the high ball, and It's a canny tactic that, you know, land the ball in a small player's head and challenge him with one of the best high ball takers in the game, in Sam Tompkins, and there's only going to be one winner. But they just need to get the ball, the PNG. They just need to get the ball in their hands.
Taken in off the restart by Welsby. Tom Burgess again. It's repeat prescription, and it doesn't taste any nicer every time. The medicine is dished up to this Papua New Guinea team from Tom Burgess. And England stalking forward with real intent here. Whitehead trying to get between Labour that time and his Wellington Albert, the big prop forward, into centre field with Radley. A bit of ball playing that time. Tompkins out towards Watkins on that right edge, and he sliced through, got the pass away. 35 metres out, England pouring forward here. Well, plenty of shape.
This is what you call a yardage set, where you're looking just to gain territory, but the way England are playing, the confidence that's coursing through the game, they just feel as if they can play from anywhere.
McAlorum, the metronome from Acton Half, finds Williams again. It'll be a kick to the corner, trying to put pressure over there on Roderick Tai. It's been taken in, and England are in again. They cannot be stopped. Tommy Makinson, what a lead that was. What a take that was. What a finish that was. 18 points to 0.
Well, poor old Roderick Tai has been picked out for a kick earlier, where England smashed him, didn't they, and took him over the sideline. That one they put it up, and Makinson challenged him, and he lost the challenge. What a second try from Makinson. And England are actually, they're just scoring back to back tries at the minute. And as I say, the challenge for this Papua New Guinea team is, can he get hold of the ball? At the minute they can't.
Perfect kick again from Williams. Soaring take from Makinson. I mean, you look at Tommy Makinson, he's not a Dom Young, is he? He's like 6 foot something athletic prowess, but he's got so much about him, whether it's returning the ball from backfield, whether it's taking kicks like that, strength and presence of mind to finish. So much good about Tommy Makinson.
He's the best winger in England. He's the best English winger by a country mile. He really is. And he earns that simply by the fact of work he does in backfield. You know, when you're bringing it away from your own line, he can still finish, but at the muck and nettles end is the best.
And he classed that through as well. 20 points to 0. England enjoying themselves. Might be miserable weather.
It ain't a miserable performance.
No, it certainly isn't.
It ain't. It's tremendous, and it's a point a minute at the minute. You know, in a World Cup quarter-final, a point a minute. Sensational stuff.
Now, we anticipated that Papua New Guinea would bring the test, bring the heat for England. They've not been allowed to.
Well, they haven't had the ball, quite simply. When they've had the ball, they've been dominated by this aggressive, well-coached England defence.
Dom Young's turn. He wants a bit of business. He wants a bit of trade, having stuck out on that wing. And watched everybody else go through it. The big prop forwards, Chris Hill, scrum cap, welded to his head and soaking wet, no doubt, in this rain. Radley moves it onto Whitehead on his shoulder. Tip tackle cries Whitehead in the tackle that time. He wasn't getting any decision his way as England roll the changes. Mike Cooper's on, oh, there's Bateman. Bateman slipped it away to Tompkins. On his shoulder, Callum Watkins. Great legs tackle. Offload onto Williams.
What a try.
His way to the line. 24 points to 0. England have just blasted Papua New Guinea, and George Williams scores.
Well, that's rugby league at its best. That is rugby league at its best. What a fantastic try. Once again, it's the set bringing it out from your own end, receiving a kick-off. And they've absolutely blasted this defence apart and come through the other side. And the support play was unbelievable. They seem to have more players on the field than the Papua New Guinea team. Absolutely fantastic work. There was a breakthrough there, just got the nose through the line, then it was offloaded to Tompkins, And Watkins fielded the ball from that, and great work from Papua New Guinea. They chased him down, but even then there's another player on the shoulder, and it's George Williams. And even though Labour there works manfully to try and prevent him scoring, the weather conditions help him slide over to score what is a fantastic rugby league try. Real quality.
It's party time here. This rain isn't going to douse anybody's spirits whatsoever. Singing in the rain.
And the darkness.
Indeed, yeah, it's murky, isn't it?
It certainly is, yes.
Floodlights are on. Gene Kelly couldn't say it better. England pouring forth, scoring points at will. 26 points to nil. Papua New Guinea have been on the end of a whirlwind.
And it's the sixth try, isn't it? Fifth try, sorry. And what a try we've witnessed. And I'll tell you what, I bet they wish they were playing cricket, because bad light would stop playing. That's the only way that they can finish, they can stop this England team.
Yeah, no such luck. It's an all-weather game, this. All weathers, all shapes, all sizes. As long as you've got heart and spirit. And England have got bucket loads of that at the moment. 20 metres out from their own line here.
Yeah, it's Mike Cooper, isn't it, who's come on for Tom Burgess. And I think Sean Wayne said, just take a breather, Tom,
yeah,
because he'll be back out for 20 in the second half.
Yeah, mate, don't burn yourself out. He was chugging, wasn't he? The old Diesel certainly had built up steam. Oh, Herbie Farmer sidestepping. Farmer trying to get the pass away. Finds one in Hill. Chris Hill is the support runner. God, everybody fancies it.
And there's 3 tackles left.
Into Radley. Radley thinks about the pass, delays it, takes it in, loops one wide towards Young on the bounce. Young trying to get away from his man. Dom Young gets the offload away, and it's finished off by Callum Watkins. England are just hitting top gear. Relentless.
I've never seen anything like this. I have not seen anything like this. World Cup quarter-final, and one team cannot get the ball off the other simply because the other team, i.e. England, are scoring tries. And the way they're constructing the tries is fantastic. They're all different. There's busts through the middle, there's shape on the edge, there's kick tries, and then once again there's a bounce pass try. It was a poor pass, wasn't it, from Radley, but it hit the ground, and then it was Dom Young's evasive skills there. First of all, getting rid of the wingman and pulling Olam across, and up in support was Callum Watkins on the inside. But how strong is Young? And although Olam managed just to reel him in, that allowed him to get his arms free and just offload to the inside support, which is the right centre of Callum Watkins. And I think Sean Wayne knows it's job done already. It really does. 30 points to nil after 25 minutes, 6 tries posted. Unbelievable.
Yep, him and Andy Last down on the bench just in front of us, beaming smiles. Demolition job already from England, and they won't be putting the cue in the rack, you sense. Making some of the kick. He's even been able to miss a couple. Such is the dominance. Sends that one on its way from the right-hand side.
Got it.
Got it this time. Where's the bloke who was waving them with a flourish the other day? He should be out there today. He was whipping his flag around like nobody's business.
But this is just down to Dom Young's evasive ability. It really is. He just gets rid of Gullit. It just brushes him off basically with contempt. And Watkins, who's playing some great rugby, isn't he, in this World Cup? He's had a great season as a back rower at Salford, but now as a centre for England. And well, it's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
What it reminded me of was Chicka Ferguson, 85 Challenge Cup final, when he could have stepped on a sixpence, this lad, wasn't it? The commentary from Ray French, where he just sort of shuffled his feet, round the man and away. And then the presence of mind with the offload as well. England purring. 32 points up here. Chris Hill looking to expose any frailties in that Papua New Guinea line. And England Move menacingly towards halfway. Tompkins out the back to Williams. Hop, skipping a drum, and he accelerates it. Nanny McDonald and Leyburn, and he got through both of them nearly that time. Tackled in the end by Reece Martin and Leyburn. Herbie Farmouth finds Tompkins, drifting across the 30. Dropped off to the on-rushing Victor Radley. Toppled just inside the 30. Last tackle for England here. Out to this left-hand side with Tompkins, who lifts a kick in towards the in goal. It's too much on that. Oh, it's been spilled. It's still not been taken. That was almost a chance for England.
Well, it's good with the tap. I don't know. It's good with the tap 20. He never caught the ball. It's a captain's challenge, surely. Captain's challenge. It's got to be.
Utterly bizarre decision, wasn't it, from Liam Moore?
Well, if he'd have caught the ball in the in goal, yes, it's a tap, but he never caught it, he never got control. And because he never got control, he just spilled it.
Nanny McDonald, is that who's limping away?
He's come off, yeah, he's come off. They've replaced him. I think it's Simbiken, Jeremiah Simbiken, who's entered the field of play for him. So there'll inevitably be a reshuffle. But I didn't think it was that good a kick, because, in all honesty, at this level, it should have been just reeled in at a tap 20. But they've been under that much cosh, that much pressure, and in all honesty, it could be a try. Because he dropped the ball and then England have grounded it. This is a very, very interesting captain's challenge. I've liked the captain's challenges, mate, at these World Cup games, and it's a very, very interesting one. He's dropped the ball, spilled his lollies, call it what you want, and he's grounded it. That's a try.
Unless they deem that Jack Wellesby just is a shove, I don't know.
That's a try.
I'm trying to see it from the devil's advocate point of view, John.
Well, you give it the devil's advocate, it's a try.
And Liam Moore points for the try. England do come on with a score. Well, the ball's never dead till it's dead, and that's a score. England punish the error, and Papua New Guinea concede again.
And that's Makerson's third.
That trick for Tommy Makerson, properly Johnny on the spot there.
Yeah, great challenge that as well. That's somebody really in the zone, because that's a great decision. You know, you're playing rugby, it's head 'em, scared 'em. You're getting knocked about, but you've got the presence of mind there to challenge that. And it's an awful, awful attempt. And it's bang on. I mean, I just couldn't understand what Liam Moore was doing, awarding the tap 20. And I don't think Sam Tompkins could. And it's pure and simple. Try.
So kick to come.
Point a minute, Mats. Point a minute at the minute.
Absolutely rolling England. Tommy Makerson, 50 points if he kicks this in the World Cup. Only Nathan Cleary with 58 is at the top of the tree. But Tommy Makerson racking up the points with some cool finishes and smart ones too. After that last moment. So the ball is live till it's not. And his kick is good. 50 points up for Tommy Makerson at this World Cup. England are rip-rolling. On to the semi-finals here. Papua New Guinea need a monumental comeback.
Well, the only way this could be made any better, Matt, is by getting us a pie at half-time.
Yeah. How long's that audio?
Yeah. Because it's fantastic. This is watching a masterclass of rugby league. And there's really under so much pressure, PNG. They tried to go for a glory kick off there, just making it bounce inside the sideline to just try and get some respite from. Well, it's just a torrent of skill and execution, isn't it? And they went for the sideline, kicked it out on the bounce. I'm sure Sam Tompkins will put it over the sideline, gain some territory, and then the challenge once again is
beast of a kick.
Great kick, 15 metres off the PNG line. Good luck, fellas, defending this.
So Watkins taps quickly. They're back into the fray again, ramped up with real pace and real vigour that time. They are 5 metres away, England here, pressing all the buttons at the moment. Williams to Tompkins down this left-hand side. Tompkins tries to slip back on the inside, but Leyburn hold him up that time. The half-back for PNG. under real duress at the moment. Williams. That's Morgan Knowles. Real up the jumper stuff from him, 5 metres away. Real intent and aggression about that carry. McIlroy goes right at the ruck. Stepping here from Wellesby. 5 metres out, goes for the kick, bounces into the hands of Tompkins. Dummies the pass. Still going here, Sam Tompkins.
Well, he's asking the referee, was the tackle count wiped clean? Well, no, it wasn't, because it was kicked into the Papua New Guinea player, not charged down.
Yeah, not played at. McIlroy into Wellesby. Will pick a kick up to that right-hand side. Young leaps for it, tries to pat it down. It's coming to an England hand, and it went forward.
Yeah. Well, this is rarer than hen's teeth, isn't it? Papua New Guinea are going to have the ball.
What do you mean we haven't scored?
Yeah, yes.
So England, 28 points that are good.
How the heck would you fancy carrying the ball here as a PNG player when you'll be absolutely drained of energy? All you've done for half an hour is defend your own line, basically. They'll be drained of energy, and now they're going to be challenged to carry the ball out from their own end against an England defence that, if one team's drained of energy, the other team is absolutely full of it.
Ipape has been rendered a spectator for the most part. A tackler when he's been called upon, but all this vaunted Papua New Guinea side have essentially been defensive dummies in this game. It's like a training exercise.
Well, if I was a halfback out there for PNG, I'd just tell them to carry the ball towards the sideline and just put it over the sideline and try and buy half a minute where at least you can get some oxygen in your lungs.
Johnston into the fray on, and an offload round the corner goes forward. He'll be hacked on by Johnston. Play will be called back surely here. I mean,
but that's the last thing that you want to. I mean, you know, we've got Justin Olam, who's an NRL player with the Melbourne Storm. He gets he's taking some great yards there on an edge. Just hit the floor, carry the ball again, roll it over the sideline, and get some energy back. What he's done, he's gone for the glory play with an offload. The offload's gone forward, and now England are starting 40 metres away from their own line, under no stress or duress or pressure, and just again looking to play with a smile on the face, which they've done for the previous 32 minutes.
I'll tell you what, Justin Olam won't play behind in many sides. Melbourne Storm, they forced an error though over Papua New Guinea with that sheer endeavour. And your play's been called back. Jimmy Nutley was almost away there for a second. Play called back by Liam Moore.
That was a good shot from Olam, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, he's renowned for that, isn't he? You know, if the opposition's got the ball, he's going to launch his shoulder at you, and if he gets you under your ribs, it hurts. Well, in that case, he spilled the ball.
Yeah, him and Nixon put two players who've certainly got shoulders that you won't want to run into.
Like the M62, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Two hard shoulders.
I left that one to you. It's your trademark on that one, John. I love that one. Labour out the back to Johnston. He's trying to turn Roderick Ty back on the inside. Alex Johnston, such a prolific scorer for South Sydney, but usually a winger rather than the fullback. Plenty of extra responsibility for him, but a chance for Papua New Guinea here to flex their attacking muscles for the change. In a game where they've just defended and defended. Martin that time with the carry. Labour turns it back into the traffic, but again it's...
Great tackle from Morgan Knowles, wasn't it?
Awesome. Yeah, Ailick had no chance to move. In by Labour. Lamb plays short of the line to put, who shrugs off his man, to be fair. Ball of muscle as Papua New Guinea streak forward. Nutlick throws the pass infield. Lamb keeps it moving. Out the back to Labour this time. Martin down this right side. Pass in towards the backfield. Roderick Ty, what a try saver that is. And then England mop up the pieces. Last tackle for Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, great play, great set this from PNG, it really is, but now they're on the last tackle.
Labour, smart play to shuffle out a problem.
And that's good play.
Tap behind, was it John Bateman, I think, on the last, and it'll be a drop out to come, and fair play to Papua New Guinea. They go full pout, and then they're like, are you all right, mate?
Well, they've just shown, though, in that set, Matt, exactly how well they can play. They haven't been allowed to play by England because they haven't had any possession. And my word, it's been absolutely first-class England performance, but that was a really, really good set. And I'm sure Sean Wayne will be pleased about that because they need testing now at some stage this England team need testing to see what the defensive resolve is like on their own line and under pressure, because at some stage, that looks a little high
for Matty Lees, wasn't it?
It was.
He's got away with it, that's for sure. Roger, I think it's Nixon Putt who's coming through the line. Oh, another bump and spin there for Papua New Guinea. It's getting physical out there. Play the ball just outside the England 20 here. Rattled in by Simbican. 15 out from the line. The Kumals baring their teeth here. Against an England side who've had it almost all their own way. Labour, short ball. Martin takes her big shoulder into the gut.
Yeah, that's a great tackle from Williams, because one-on-one Reece Martin is a handful. It really is. Offside.
Oh, England pinged for their overzealousness that time.
Yep. I think it was. I don't think they were square at marker, and that allowed him to play at the dummy half hand, and that caused the error from PNG. But the referee got it right there.
Chance to apply some pressure.
Yeah, well, this is third set on the bounce that PNG have had the ball, and within the England half. So this is the first time the England defence, online defence, has been tested.
Mackenzie, yeah, and they fluffed their lines. Pass out the back. Mackenzie, he set them a great point. The pass from acting half was really sloppy from Pape, and it all goes wrong.
Yeah, it was sloppy. Well, I think they're in shock. In all honesty, I think they're absolutely in shock. I'm not saying they expected to win the game, but I certainly thought they could challenge England, and the challenge has gone, because 38 points to 0. We're not even at half time. There's 36 minutes gone. That's how well England have played.
So scrum, head and feed to England. 10 out from their own post here. And they're going to break from deep through Farnworth. Labour locked on, off. Penalty, differential penalty. Offside off the scrum. So England will kick to touch here. We're never going to go for goal from there anyway, John, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you kick for touch. That's what I know.
So tap from Farnworth, just short of halfway. Elliot Whitehead slugs it up for this England team. Good yards. Oh, why did he try and offload there? England don't need to do that.
Well, I'm certain that will be Sean Wayne's message at half-time. Don't let your standards drop, and let's keep it to 0. That will be the two main points of his, because there's not much else I can say, because it's been virtually perfect.
Pape from Acton Harp. Looked like that time, trying to get this Papua New Guinea side on the front foot. No way through. England's desperately determined defensive line. Playing out the back by Simbican. Labour trying to expose this edge. Darren Russell got a clatter. 3 players into his gut, into his top and bottom. Roderick Tai finds Labour, moved infield, this time to Pape. Out the back to Lamb. Nice shape from Papua New Guinea here. Johnston chiming forward. Coming down that left-hand side with Olam. 15 metres out, that was the turnover. Elbow touched the floor, says Liam Moore.
Well, I'm with you, Matt. That was great shape, wasn't it? It really was some great attacking rugby league there from Papua New Guinea. But the pleasing thing for the England team is how well they handled it as well.
2 minutes to the break. 38 points to 0 here, 5 Sports Extra. Callum Watkins with a one-out drive for England up towards the 40 inside their own half. They want to finish this half in a clean and disciplined way, having already given themselves a really healthy lead. Knowles onto Lees, drifting and then dumped. Big hit that time from Papua New Guinea.
Well, this is more like I thought. The last 5 minutes are more like what I expected, where England would be challenged.
Oh, McAlorum dwelled. He was robbed of it by a Papua and gave a swinging arm and the gut to the next guy who came along off the rank. It's a bruising encounter, that one, for poor old Simbican. As he walks away from that contact, Lachlan Lamb picks from Acton Harp, finds Russell through the middle here. He's played on the wing, he's played in the pack, and he's made some good yardage that time. Papua New Guinea.
He's been the one switched to the centre as well, Matt, for McDonald's absence.
Out the back it goes to Labour. Dangerous kick in behind here. Was there a man taken off the ball? Ian Moore says no.
half a chance for England here.
Yeah, Tommy Makinson has to take the surrender tackle. Really just about got away with that one. He was almost through. So England trying to finish off here with half a minute to go, with a few points to their already considerable tally. McIlaurin finds Bateman. Again, the Papua New Guinea side. It's taken them maybe 35 minutes, but they've woken up now, that's for sure. Tompkins gets an end of set kick away.
And I'm with you, Matt, because that Tompkins is kicking within his own 30-metre zone, you know, so that's credit to PNG. It's just a shame the game's gone, basically. What a half of rugby league we've seen from England. No wonder this crowd, to a man and woman, are standing up and applauding this England team up. It's been a masterclass, it really has, of attacking rugby league. And the defence was pretty awesome also. But I'm certain their coaching staff will want a bit more of a challenge in the second half to toughen them up for the task to come.
Yeah, Papua New Guinea came into this game, John, on the back of plenty of people were talking up what they could do, what they might do, what they have at their disposal. England, pretty brutally, pretty ruthlessly, took this game out of scruff of the neck, took it away from them before they had a chance to really settle into any stride whatsoever.
Well, as a start of a game, I haven't seen one as good for a long time, because they were absolutely sensational. And that period where they went through, and they must have starved PNG of the ball for 20 minutes because they were so good at either forcing six agains or forcing a penalty or getting a repeat set or scoring a try, and they just could not get the ball. So that dominance has been reflected on the scoreboard. 38-0 at half-time. You could have asked anybody in here if they expected that, and they would have all have replied in the negative.
And I think what we are definitely expecting, John, even if it's not what we were expecting initially, is for Papua New Guinea to aim up second half.
Well, yeah, it is, and that's what England need. In all honesty, Matt, if England are going to go forward and win this competition, they need that. They need now to defend their own line for 10 minutes, to be under the pump, under pressure, to be deprived of the ball and see what they're like when their energy levels are down. Because at the minute, they haven't had that at any stage at all in this World Cup competition.
Lachlan Lamb just being interviewed at half-time. Very keen to get into the sheds, no doubt. Hat-trick for Tommy Makinson, tries for Tom Burgess, Dom Young, George Williams and Callum Watkins. What a first half we see. England 38, Papua New Guinea 0.
The Rugby League World Cup on 5 Sports Extra.
So England's quarter-final so far has been utterly relentless. Plenty more to come from Wales coach and former England boss John Keir in the second half here at the DW Stadium, but we'll pause for half-time here and we'll keep you entertained by reflecting on the incredible wheelchair action we've seen so far in the competition. On Thursday night, I think anybody who saw England against Australia would have been blown away by the skill, the intensity, and most of all, the ferocity of it all. What a game, what a sport. England got off to a great start, beating the team known as the Wheelaroos by 38 points to 8. The BBC's JJ Chalmers reflected on a pulsating game with the 2008 Wheelchair World Cup winning captain Martin Norris and wheelchair internationals Freya Levy and James Simpson. But first of all, here's player of the match Jack Brown chatting to Jenna Brooks shortly after full-time.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a great blowout. I think we were blowing a couple of cobwebs off in the beginning, but yeah, they're a special squad, these boys.
And what about the team that you were playing? Because we all know that you are the head coach of Queensland. So some of those players in that Aussie squad know you, but did you tonight prove that you perhaps know them a little bit better?
No, of course not. They had everything. They had everything in their arsenal to be able to do what they wanted to do today. They showed some real class out there. Just what we talked about in Queensland, them boys. But the New South Wales boys as well over there. The whole Aussie team were really good. They're really clinical. It's just the England guys I think just wanted it more today.
Well, you were outstanding as well. What did you make of your performance? Because you, to us, look like a man on a mission, both in attack and defence.
Well, Tom had a meeting with me. He basically just said, you've got to trust yourself, don't second doubt what you see. And that was something difficult for me, 2 years out, not playing with these boys. So I was worried about being able to gel with them, but he really did sort of instill confidence in myself to be able to just trust the process and try to live up to the hype.
Well, you certainly did. The crowd absolutely love you. The atmosphere at the Copper Box, outstanding tonight. Tell me why this England team can win the World Cup.
Because it's written.
It's written, is it? It's destiny. Talk about this atmosphere. How good was it playing in front of a crowd like this?
This is incredible. We've never had anything like this. It's a dream come true. It's something when we were a 15-year-old kid playing this sport for the first time. We never imagined anything like this. We thought we were just having a fun little push around, but this is something really special.
And it gets better because I can tell you that Wheelchair Rugby League is currently trending 4th in the UK after that. How good?
Well, 3 more places and we'll be right.
Your thoughts, first of all, on the way that England have begun their campaign, Martin?
Fantastic start, isn't it? 38-8 against the third best team in the world for me. Lots to work on for England, but a fantastic result, and that will give the team the boost that they need going into those next group games.
And Freya, I mean, a great scoreline, but they were tested today. Australia really put up a fight, particularly in that second half defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. They came out fighting in that second half, but I do think that there was a huge energy shift in the Australian camp, and England just capitalised on that. And like we said, this game is about momentum, and they certainly had it the whole second half. They were firmly in control, and it's just good to get a good win under our belt to start the campaign.
Right, James, thanks for staying with us, because I know you'll be itching to get over there, let's be honest. What are you thinking right now?
Yeah, as soon as the game finished, I kind of had to hold myself back, so I really wanted to get out there. I high-fived a few of the players on the way past, but absolutely fantastic win, a great way to start the tournament. I mean, they kept Australia out the whole second half to the point where the Aussies had to kick for a 2-point field goal, 2 points at the end just to say they got something in the second half. I thought the defence was absolutely fantastic. The goal line defence, there was so much fight and aggression and want to stop the Aussies getting over that line. It was fantastic to see. The player in me is looking at the points we need to work on, the discipline, the completion, but it's the first test with a record-breaking crowd, so there is going to be some nerves and mistakes, but what a way to start the campaign.
Yeah, 3,033 people in here, all going wild. As James says, that's a world record attendance for a wheelchair rugby league match. At the moment, though, we can get a quick word with Tom Coy, with Jenna Brooks, the England coach here.
Tom Coy, congratulations. You weren't happy at half-time, but what is the feeling at full-time?
Sorry, that's all my best mates up there. I'm okay. Our defence was absolutely unreal, and our attack could be a lot better, so middle for dinner.
Can you just try, what exactly are they singing, Tom? Are you allowed to say?
Can't say.
Okay, there we go, it's loud. Group of fans behind you. Okay, so let's talk about Jack Brown. Today was a perfect example as to why most people call him the best player in the world.
Yeah, I don't know if we could call him that, because there's a lot of great players out there, but it's the first time he's played on the international stage since 2019, and he is what he is. He's unreal.
He mentioned, given he lives in Australia, that he was worried that he wouldn't gel with his teammates. Do you think he gelled?
What do you think?
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. He did. I'm really pleased. He had a great game.
I just also want to talk about the fact that it was your first game of the World Cup. Did you see everything you wanted to see? Were there any red flags?
Yeah, just our attack needs to get a lot better. And the green flags were our defence, and the way we conducted ourselves the whole day today has been really professional, so I'm happy with that.
Tom Coy, congratulations. A pivotal game and a pivotal win.
Thanks, Jenna.
Great, top lad. Well, that was a phenomenal performance from the whole team there, but it was mentioned, Jack Brown, he was another level today, hence the player of the match. Let's be completely honest about it. Solid, not just in attack, but in defence as well, Martin.
Yeah, he's just incredible, isn't he? The tries that he scores, they're so varied. That's just a simple grinding for Jack. Catch and pass, catch and grind, simple basics. What we'll see later on is, his evasion. He'll push at somebody. There we go. Drop his shoulder. Beats another player.
How do you manage to sidestep in a wheelchair? That's what he's doing, basically.
Absolutely. Well, I guess it is all about turning the defender. If the defender turns left, it's a green light, go right. You can drop a shoulder and it'll look like you're going right, and then quick push on the wheel and you're going left. He just made 5 tackles in a row. He's an absolute freak of nature.
Yeah, and that is it. I mean, we can, do a show reel all day long of him putting the ball down, but let's be honest, being strong in defence, that's going to make the difference, for example, against France, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Defence will win you these big games, and the defence isn't just stoppage there. You have to have so much want and desire to get off that line and hit those players, and that's what Jack does. Jack gets off that line every time he makes that tackle. I think what you can say about Jack as well is his humility. You hear it in the interview, you see him on the pitch. He's not selfish, he's so humble in his abilities, and it makes him an all-round great athlete.
It's insane. Played the first 20 minutes without him. He came on 20 minutes into the game and just completely changed everything. 2 tries, 4 line breaks. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
And what that gives to the rest of the team is that confidence to say, we are here, this huge crowd, this big energy, and we've got the best player in the world on our team, and that's going to step everyone's game up. And it's a real team sport, and we see that with England for sure.
Yeah, and maintaining that sort of energy, that excitement. I mean, let's go back 80 minutes to the start of that match. Things looked pretty shaky for England to begin with.
Definitely, and like we said, that's just pure nerves. But as the game went on, they really settled into it. They really settled into the game. It was fantastic to see them calm down as the game went on.
Brilliant. Well, let's turn our attention quickly to the Australians. Brett Clark, the Australian coach, is with Jenna Brooks now for us.
Brett Clark, the head coach of Australia, you didn't get the win, but do you feel like you succeeded in your game plan of bullying that England side?
I think in the second half, yeah. I think nerves got to us in the first half, which I sort of expected from the young group that we've got. We really relied on our players with experience that have been here before just to level it out. And after having a conversation at half-time in the sheds and then coming out here, I think we did. We kept the scores pretty close, even though we didn't get over the line in the second half. I think both teams got into that arm wrestle, which is what we wanted.
Do you feel like maybe you did get over the line, though, that your captain, Brad Grove, do you think he maybe should have been awarded that try?
No comment.
No comment. Don't want to get in trouble. Smart man. It is only the first game of the World Cup. Okay, fair enough. Let me put it this way. Maybe a number of missed opportunities then.
Oh, 100%. And I think that's something we can take off. If we put our best game and we were clinical the whole way through and we had nothing to work on, then I'd be concerned if the scoreline was what it was. But the fact that it probably wasn't our best game for periods there gives us something to work on. But it's the start of a campaign. We've still got 2 games to go, and then hopefully we get across to Sheffield to finish off and get into the semi-final, and hopefully we're there in the final.
You mentioned areas of improvement. What is top of the list?
Probably just our control in regards to playing the ball and just getting back to what we do well and the control play and support play. But then defensively too, I think we really got into the mindset where we just wanted to go out there and bash and hit chairs. We've got to actually stop and grab tags and not try to get into a wrestle. And I think that's where we fell apart in that first half. So
Brett Clark, thank you for talking to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The Rugby League World Cup on 5 Sports Extra.
So that was some of the action from England's game against Australia. The England side off to a winning start in the Wheelchair Rugby League World Cup. There's more wheelchair action tomorrow as England take on Spain at midday. Australia face Ireland at 2:30 p.m. Both of those games are available to watch on BBC TV, with the England game live on BBC Two. While here on Sports Extra, we'll bring you commentary of the 4 quarter-finals as the heavyweights Tonga, I'm mixing me Pacific Islands up there, Tonga and Samoa face off to see who will play the winners of our game here. I think we can probably fairly safely say it's going to be England, although never say never here in the semi-finals. John, have you caught up with much of the wheelchair? And I mean, you can't fail to be impressed when you do see it. It's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought that Thursday evening game when England played Australia, I was just blown away. I mean, some of the collisions you just wouldn't believe. But also, what's so impressive is the skill level of the players as well. And the women's game standards going through the roof. The wheelchair's as entertaining as anything, and we've got England here playing absolutely fantastic rugby league.
You've got these players who are steering, accelerating, flick passing, in this almost the same motion. You think, well, you've only got 2 arms. I mean, most people have only got 2 arms. Some of the players don't, obviously, depending on their disability. But you've only got a finite amount of attributes.
It's not just that; it's how strong they are as well. I mean, their upper body strength is unbelievable. But the thing that impressed me was the speed, the ferocity and the skill. It really was, and and I watched that game Thursday night and just thought, wow.
Well, we're back underway here. Just kick off into the hands of Jack Wellesby. Now Matty Lees bumps it forward, and Papua New Guinea under ribs with shoulders, driving him back towards the line from which he came from. England playing with plenty of zest and zip here. 38 points to the good on 5 Sports Extra in this Rugby League World Cup quarter-final. But Papua New Guinea come out with real intent. Sean Wayne and Andy Lass, there was no getting carried away. Unsurprisingly, there's no getting carried away. There's no believing they've won it or doing anything special at this stage. It was a cool and calm and composed coaching staff that came back out after the half-time break, John.
Yeah, and as I said beforehand, it'd be a pretty simple message that Sean Wayne's had. It won't have been anything technical or tactical. It's more about, maintain your standards, ball in hand, both in your set completion and your end of sets, and then make sure that scoreboard reads 0 at the end of the 80 minutes, and that will just focus their minds, and it'll be interesting to see if they do that. It was the first half was pretty easy to defend because they dominated possession so much. It'll be more interesting to see what happens if it scores set for set and it's 50% each possession.
So Papua New Guinea looking to come off the line with real intent. It was a Sam Tompkins spiral bomb that went up just a moment ago. It was well taken at the back by Alex Johnston, although the kick chase was there, and Papua New Guinea almost on the front foot that time on the back of a couple of pirouettes in the tackle in midfield here. No look pass from Lachlan Lamb as Papua New Guinea slug it out through the middle this time. Up over halfway, last tackle inside the England half. He'll be labelled inside the football centre circle, who sends up a swirler of a kick, spinning around on its axis before Tompkins takes it in, and Tommy Makinson leads the breakout here for England up over his own 20. First tackle.
But that, Matt, I would hasten to add, I think that's the best yardage cleared in their own end set that Papua New Guinea have had, because they got over the halfway line. It was a kick in the opposition half, and it was a really good kick as well that allowed the chase to get up there. So I'm certain their message from their coach for Papua New Guinea will be, make sure you don't spoil all your hard work of the competition, because they've been really good in the competition, but that first half obviously wasn't acceptable for them.
Alex Johnston took a kick right down in the left corner, came in off the touchline, brushed aside the first tackle, but he was smothered by the second one. And Papua New Guinea still playing out of their own end here. Matty Lees, Callum Watkins, Mickey McAlorum, all comprising and combining to make that challenge there. Olam, no way through for him. Tackled on his own 20 in centre field here. They're finding the going tough here, trying to spread it to that right-hand side. Again, there's a corridor of white shirts who just welcome him in, absorb, hit and stick. That's more like it from Papua New Guinea, but again, they're still treading water here.
Yeah, they're 35 metres away from their own line out there, and the difficult thing there for them was the fact that Ipapi it was who got tackled, and once your dummy half is tackled, you get a makeshift dummy half in there, and it's never quite as good, but it certainly wasn't a bad bit of collision there from PNG on Sam Tompkins.
Well, it was a beautiful kick from Lachlan Lamb just a minute ago. It was spiralling all the way through the air. Sam Tompkins spilled it backwards. He was allowed to play on as per the laws of the game. John Bateman's just peeled away around to offer an option on this right-hand side, but it's Watkins who takes it up to the 40 centre field here for England. McAlorum, he went for the offload there, should I say Callum Watkins, or was it a strip? Liam Moore says strip. So penalty to England.
Well, I'd like to look at that again, but...
So Emily Rudge and Jodie Cunningham talking Princess of Wales, Her Royal Highness, do the action here up in the stands at the DW Stadium. Couldn't have two more engaging guides, could you? Emily Rudge and Jodie Cunningham, childhood friends, grew up in Warrington. Mickey McAlorum, 30 out then for England, looking to post some more points. Not putting the queue in the rack by any means as Matty Lees drills it to within 25 metres of that Papua New Guinea line. Out towards that left-hand side, McAlorum takes it in here with Williams. Now they're 15 out. Papua New Guinea have a man down in back play. McAlorum Back to Wellesby, switching the point of the attack now with Morgan Knowles. Driving into within 5 metres. PNG player back on his feet and back into the line here. Still tackles left in the bank. McAlorum back to Wellesby, who just drifts aside of his tackler, rolls the kick in for Tompkins. Hacked behind by Roderick Ty and Jimmy Nutlick.
Great play though, wasn't it, from Wellesby? Because the Papua New Guinea defence from the outside shot out to try to prevent him either moving the ball wide or kicking. But his deft footwork then just took him out of the way, and then he just slid it behind the defensive line to the chasing Sam Tompkins, and they were happy just to ferry the ball over the dead ball line. And a good start by England, but they are being challenged a little more. This is more like it, to tell the truth, and I'm sure it's more of what Sean Wayne will want as well.
More befitting of a quarter-final. Meanwhile, a bit of treatment being handed out, and I don't mean rough treatment from England, I mean by the physio. Papua New Guinea had a man down in back play earlier in that phase of tackles. 35 minutes left, clock's been stopped, and almost a bit of, dare I say it, John, we might even have some sunshine on the way. We've got some blue sky.
Yeah. So through the murk, the blue sky is emerging. Yes.
Jeremiah Simbikin, I think it was, who felt the after effects of a challenge on George Williams. So Kyle Labert with a dropout to halfway. Tompkins takes it. He's got no shortage of options as he finds Matty Lees, who arcs his run, runs straight at Rhys Williams. Well, he might not have been my target, but it was where Matty Lees was going. Plenty of traffic coming his way. Mike Cooper's turn. Trying to split that defensive line, and the ball comes loose.
Yep.
Well, they're getting a few wins here, aren't they? Just these little wins, Papua New Guinea, chalking them off.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. But you've also got to admire England's start. This actually indicates how well England started. So the prep for that minute one of the England performance will have been absolutely superb. Because in this second half, it's been a little more like we probably expected, where there's an element of physicality from the Papua New Guinea side, there's an element of challenge from the Papua New Guinea side, and it's not all one-way traffic, which it certainly was for a good 32 minutes of the the first half. And we see, I believe it is Jeremiah Simbikin, who's being brought off, no doubt, for a head injury assessment.
Yeah, the board being held up, and Jacob Ehrlich is back on, so he will slot in to lock the scrum.
I think the measure of the England performance, Matt, what you've got, this is a good Papua New Guinea team. They ain't no mugs, but my word, they've been really, really outplayed in every single department by this really good, confident and growing England team.
7 minutes of the second half gone. England 38, Papua New Guinea 0. World Cup quarter-final on 5 Sports Extra. Semi-finals on 5 Sports Extra. The final, all 3 finals, wheelchair, women's, culminating in the men's, all on 5 Live and Sports Extra, or 5 Live Sport Extra as it's now been rebranded. So England on the back foot at the moment. Papua New Guinea going through some plays, trying to soften England's core. Easier said than done, as they're up to halfway. Playing out the back that time by Ehrlich, who's just come on. It has been relentless fare from England, with and without the ball. Last tackle. Ipape waiting to play it. Goes back to Lachlan Lamb, who hoists up the kick. Plenty of height on that one. Underneath it, Sam Tompkins took it cleanly. And now Tommy making someone look to get them on the front foot here. England almost up to their own 21st tackle.
Yeah, and this is much more like a game of rugby league, isn't it? You know, with the possession shared a little equally, the field position shared. Oh, don't give another 6 again, man.
We never did get you on that subject, did we? I don't want to rile you, to be honest, John. You're in good spirits. I don't want to spoil your mood.
No, it spoils the game, you know. We're just enjoying each team testing each other out and having to work for yards, and then you just get gifted extra tackles and you're gifted field position from that. If it's foul play, if it's an infringement of the rule, give a penalty. Go back to the old way.
Well, at the moment, it's an evil we've got to live with, in inverted commas. So McAloran picks off the rug. Here comes Williams inside the 20. Oh, barrelling forward that time. Nice offload to Williams. The kick rolled into the in goal. It just wouldn't sit up for the onrushing Radley. And England denied the chance to score again. It was Knowles, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Tearing through.
They look very similar, don't they?
So one's Bondi, one's Barrow.
Yes, yeah. Bondi with Sheffield parents, so yeah.
Exactly, eh? Bit of Sheffield steel in there as well. Not one of those latte sippers that you see down at the beach. Can't knock a bit of Bondi, to be fair. I know Leon Price, not a fan, but
fan of Blackpool, though.
He is, taken in by Papua New Guinea, up beyond the halfway, into that England line. Morgan Knowles again is there, ready to bend his back if need be, along with Matty Lees that time. Two St Helens players. Lachlan Lamb, little short ball, big fend there from Nixon Putt, but he was wrapped up on the second attempt. 3 in the tackle there for England. 35 metres away. Interacting half, that time was Johnston. Lachlan Lamb trying to take on the line with a bit of footwork. Last tackle, 30 away centre field here. Scooped up by a Pape. A little chip and chase from him. Sam Tompkins is chasing after it. They're praying for it to go dead. It won't.
Play.
Hack behind, drop out to come.
Yeah, good play from Edwin Pape there. He spotted there that he took off. It was a kick for himself rather than a team play. But he took that responsibility on, and England just had to ferry the ball over the in-goal line. Just kick it over the in-goal line. But it's good skill, was it, from Pape, because he pulled it up in... They're not the biggest in-goal areas, are they? And pulled the ball up in there, despite the greasy conditions.
So Johnston feels the drop out, and that's the Pape that we've come to know and respect so much for his work in the Championship with Lee. Did he win Championship Player of the Year, Pape?
He did, yes, he did.
So they're on the back foot, England, at the moment, as Wellington Albert. Although I say that, Wellington Albert just seemed to stop almost out of rabbit in the headlights as 3 big boppers came and crunched him. Alec comes forward then for Papua New Guinea, almost up to the 20 centre field. Pape jumping out of acting half. Picks out another willing runner. Ball goes backwards from Lachlan Lamb into Labour. He spilled it with the 20 line beckoning. Yeah. That was a chance for PNG.
It was, yeah, because it was a bit of a disrupted defensive line from England, because the ball had hit the ground, hadn't it, which, you know, it causes some people to just pull up a little, others to advance, and you tend to get a broken defensive line. But Papua just couldn't seize upon that opportunity. And again, it's England, and it's a little flat, isn't it, in comparison to the first half. I mean, the first half everybody was bouncing and excited and, well, in awe really of the quality that we were witnessing, and now it's just got a little flat. And I think it's really difficult. We spoke about what Sean Wayne would have been after from his team maintaining standard, but it's so difficult when you know full well you've won the game, and realistically they have 38-0. They ain't going to concede 38 points in a half of Rugby League, England, so they've won the game.
It is a tough one, isn't it? Like you say, you don't want to, because these players could run themselves into the ground. He wants to keep them fresh, but they want that test, don't they? Yes. They need to be battle hard. It's going to come certainly next game, you'd imagine.
Well, we thought it would have come against Tonga, against Samoa, sorry. Then we thought it was going to come again today, and neither of them have.
Who wants to challenge England? Make it a reality TV programme, couldn't we? Tompkins, let's not, actually. Farmouth. Nice offload to Tompkins in midfield. He jinks across the line. He straightens up in centre field. Dumped onto his back though. Last tackle. England wanted a penalty. Nothing forthcoming from Liam Moore. Last tackle here, 30 out. Up goes Williams with the kick. Away to that far side. It's bounced into the in goal. And thankfully, from a Papua New Guinea perspective, as they almost stood freeze frame, it went the right side, side of the line.
Be disappointed with the end though, and it's just a little. It's the details that are missing, isn't it, for England? The first 13 minutes or so of this half, but it was impossible, Matt. We couldn't expect them to keep up to such a standard for the full 80 minutes, because they've made Papua New Guinea look poor, but they ain't poor. You know, as a rugby league team, they ain't poor. And there's a lot of these players who'll be playing Super League next year, and a couple who'll be playing NRL next year. And that's the magnitude of this England performance, as Papua once again come up with an error, and it'll allow England to attack. And Sam Tompkins having words with George Williams. I think he's just saying, let's be absolutely ruthless. Whilst ever we've got this scoreline, let's be absolutely ruthless.
It's a 3-3, isn't it? An equal split. They're going to that left-hand side, though. Williams arcing on that outside shoulder of his man into Farnworth, who's tackled on the 30. Out on the scrum line's left-hand side.
That, you see, is again, Matt, Sean Wayne won't want to show any special players he's got. He'll have told them to can it and just let's be the orthodox rugby league team, because he'll have his eye on the tournament later on in the tournament.
Yeah, let's not dish up any of the trade secrets. Oh, lovely hands. Oh, there was a hand in there from Labour. It was a spoiling hand. It had to be made because England had the movement there. England had the position. England had the numbers. They might have had the points, John.
Yeah. May well. He had to play at it. He did play at it, and it's a great opportunity for England now. And again, now will they put a... Well, it's a play the ball restart, isn't it? So... be more orthodox how they play, but straight away they've split the number of players either side. 6 one side, 5 the other, and a fullback directly behind. But they're just setting a point up now by the post.
Yep, Mike Cooper certainly doing that. Ramrod straight, making yards, getting Papua New Guinea on tenterhooks here. It's Williams, floats the big ball wide. What a pass! Oh, almost what a try.
But well done to PNG there. That was great defence there, because, as you say, a beautiful pass, and Tommy Makerson really caught it on the fly. But they showed great desire in the scramble defence. But look at this yardage defence from England, really making it difficult for Papua New Guinea to get anywhere. And the crowd are enjoying this.
Absolutely squeezed in. You've got Dom Young almost down halfway inside the half, and they might come to burn them here because they're going to shift it, Papua New Guinea, and they're almost away, but a really good scrag that time. Superb work from Jack Wellesby, and then the penalty goes against Papua New Guinea. They lost their cool. Jack Wellesby retained his. Nixon lost it, and he's given us away a penalty.
Well, it's right as well. Referee is exactly correct. The tackle was made, and as Wellesby's regaining his feet to go into the marker position, the PNG player just tugged at his foot, and that's unfortunate. That's a penalty, and he's conceded a penalty in possession.
Yeah, England inside the 20 as well, making menaces and nuisances of themselves through Cooper. 10 metres away, left of the post here. McAlorum hovers, plays into centre field with Knowles, out the back Williams. Oh, Watkins came on a good line on a pass that time from Jack Wellesby. Wellesby taking control of the situation here. 5 away right to the posts. Williams keeps it moving to Lees. Knowles flicks a pass from somewhere into the hands, away to that left side. It's thrown out the back, it goes out to Farnworth, and it'll be finished off on the left-hand side by Makinson. Try number 4 for him. England made the territory count, and they're back up and running again, having weathered a bit of a Papua New Guinea storm.
And again, a very, very good try indeed. But that's all come, Matt, on the back of conceding a penalty in possession. Papua New Guinea had the ball 30 metres away from their own line, tackle 3, played in their own line, give a penalty away whilst in possession. England take full advantage of it with some real high quality play there. And I think it was basically Michael McMeekan, wasn't he, who was out there on the left-hand side, who shrugged a defender off, then just offloaded to Farnworth in the centre, who pulled the last defender in before releasing Tommy Makinson for personal try number 4. What an afternoon he's having, Tommy Makinson.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of when Mike McMeekan gets in the mood. He's a big bulldozer of a man, isn't he? Listen, yeah, see you later, pal. On Dan Russell as well. He's no slouch, is he?
No,
physically.
He's a big fella. Yeah, he's a big fella. Then he threw him off as if he wasn't in existence, to tell you the truth. Really good work this is from England, because they were bound to be a lull because you've won the game, but it seems they're back in the groove now, and even if they post 50 plus points and don't concede any, you'll basically be looking at an 8 or a 9 out of 10 performance from them, and that's a great space to be in when you're going into the last 4 of the World Cup.
Well, Victor Radley was desperate to come on. He was pacing around with a number 5 card in his hand, and having seen England score, I think Sean Waynes just said, stick your jacket back on, lad, we'll keep you on the bench for a bit. So he's the former Cloverleigh Croc. He wants to get out there and tussle with his old pal Lachlan Lamb. He's going to have to cool his jets on the bench.
Well, who wouldn't want to play? He's 42-0 up. Yeah, who wouldn't want to play?
Fill your boots time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, very much so.
England filling their boots. 42-0 here. 20 minutes to play. 5 Sports Extra. McIlaurin finds Chris Hill in centre field up over the 20. The powerful.
I'll tell you what Sean Wayne will have learned though as well, Matt. His team are better when Burgess and Hill are out there as the starting props. They really are. And that's one thing that he may well, in the more competitive close games, he may well try to keep them out there that bit longer.
Yeah, it's almost as if they just churn up. They're like tractors, aren't they, on a field? You just plough.
Very much so.
Nice little...
You know, you put them as your starting props, and you put Radley out there as well. That's some middle unit. That is some middle unit.
It's got a piece of everything, that one. McIlaurin back into Sam Tompkins, who just outside the 40, inside the Papua New Guinea half, hooks his kick downfield into Alex Johnston, who is a good ball runner, but just afforded no space and time by this intense England kick chase. And they're trying to shift things inside their own half here. Lamb with the big pass wide. Nutlick trying to get away. Well, kept his feet in the field.
But you've spotted it, Matt, earlier on. You called the tight defensive line, and that's exactly what Papua are now trying to exploit, is getting to the edge of it. And but unfortunately for England, there's that much energy in the tank, and there's that much urgency scrambling from the inside that they're diffusing any threat. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Russell's coughed that up. Mike McMeekin's quick to it. Pops it up to Tompkins. They're not wasting any time here. Makinson looking for 5. Back on the inside it comes. Tompkins still stepping. Tompkins taken to floor. Just outside the 20, but England on the front foot again. Wellesby. Infield it goes to Knowles. Plays short to Lees. Just moving those forwards around. Ball movement. Radley's back on now, in a hooker. Out the back it goes Williams, floats the pass wide on the bounce, is hacked on by Makinson. Didn't quite get the execution right that time, England.
No, I think that was the wrong decision, basically. I mean, you know, I know they're playing well, but they still can do things wrong, and that was it. They'd got 4 on 2, basically, so you no need to miss players out. All you do is just strip the defenders one by one, and you create the overlap.
Albert plants a foot into the turf, and he is then planted into the turf himself. Just under 18 to play. England 42, Papua New Guinea 0. Lachlan Lamb trying to tiptoe his way through the tacklers in centre field. Just outside his own 20. Hill and Bateman slowing down the play that time for England. Johnston, marauding run from him, but it's tracked and halted pretty sharply that time by Radley, and Hill involved again. Labert with a kick, 30 out, cannons off a teammate, out into the hands of Roderick Ty on that right hand side. His scruffy, skewed kick.
I thought that was played it, you know. Because Morgan Knowles was advancing towards the ball, wasn't he? Towards the kicker. So I thought that was played it, but anyway, I out refereeing.
Well, he took it full flush, didn't he?
He did, yes.
Bang.
Straight on the melon.
Bang at close range. You wouldn't fancy that from 20 foot away, let alone 2. So it's Watkins guiding England to a point, centre field, 40 out from those Papua New Guinea posts. Radley moves it left with Williams, back on the inside to Hill, but the Papua New Guinea defence read the play. and they will shut it down just outside the 30. Play the ball this time, Radley moves it right this time to Tompkins, now into the hands of Bateman, who with a bit of a shuffle skips past one and skids his way over the 20-metre line. Plays the ball just inside, 15 metres away from those Papua New Guinea posts. Last tackle, Tompkins hangs the ball up on that goal line, 2 go for it, ball comes loose. Oh, it was just about poached before Dom Young could finish it off.
Yeah, well, that was miscommunication, wasn't it, from Papua New Guinea? In all honesty, the fullback Alex Johnson, you've got to, as you're at the fullback, you can see the play unfolding, and he's got to put a name on that. You know, and obviously when you say put a name on it, you put your own name on. You don't tell somebody else to catch it, you put your own name on it. And that's what he had to do, but he didn't. Spill the ball, and it's a really interesting choice, England, here, because they chose to take the scrum 10 metres from the sideline. That's very, very rare indeed in modern times, isn't it? Normally at a 50%, 50-50 field position, but they're right on one edge.
They've gone away, I was going to say they're going away to that left side, and then suddenly George Williams just turned his hips back in and sank into the line, centre field, just 10 metres away, taken in by Knowles. Still driving the legs as he's tackled just in front of the Papua New Guinea goal line, 5 metres out eventually, if they let him play the ball. Set restart, they slowed it down too long. Into the hands of Wellesby, to Williams. McMeekin this time. Folded up just about. 5 metres away, 42 points to 0. Looking for some more points here. Chris Hill, driving at the line. Tackled inside the 10. Bradley battling to get to the play the ball, plays it at the line to Wellesby. Back he comes towards the middle.
Good defence.
Papua New Guinea just didn't leave him alone.
Yeah, good defence there. They've still got energy, haven't they? The fair dose of this second half, you know, Matt, because it would have been understandable if the game would have continued as it did in the first half, where it was just an avalanche of points, but they've really put a marker down in the sand and said, no, that wasn't good enough. We were poor. We're going to address that, and people are going to remember our second half rather than our first half. And in the second half, it's just 6-0, isn't it? So a much better performance from them. Not quite as intense or focused from England, but I'm sure the PNG guys will feel, well, we've had a response.
Yeah, they certainly would have been looking for that. Stanley Tepend would have wanted more, much more, from a side who were bossed about, really, and deprived of any ball, deprived of any opportunities, made to work under duress for a good 20, nearly 30 minutes. And we're behind on the scoreboard.
And interestingly, Matt, isn't it, Tom Burgess, not re-emerged at all. I think Sean Wayne said, you had such a good first 20, you're my starting prop.
And he's literally just took his vest off, his bib off.
Yeah.
It's almost as if he said, I'm sick of this, I'm going for it.
Well, you wouldn't want him coming back on, would you? 30 minutes left.
No. Last thing you need when your lungs are burning is that guy trampling his way downfield. I'm going to stomp all over you. Makinson looking to get on the outside. Good legs tackle that time from Russell. England have been really professional, and here comes Burgess. Lee's making way. So that's Hill and Burgess back on.
Yep.
And they'll be winding up for one here.
Yeah, last 12.5 minutes. So that's your best middle, isn't it, out there, to tell the truth. Burgess, Hill, Radley with McAlorum as a hooker. That's your best middle unit. And that's another thing, you know, I know England have just made Papua have just made a mistake there, but what Sean Wayne will be doing will be learning more and more about combinations and what best to do in certain situations. And it's been a very, very fruitful afternoon for him. First of all you can do in a quarter-final is get to the semi-final. Done. You can play outstandingly well to do so. Did in the first 40, and now answered some other conundrums as well in the second 40, including keeping the opposition to 0.
And it's all hypothetical, but we've got a captain's challenge here, by the way. I think England were ping. Papua New Guinea, plenty of numbers around the ball.
Well, I thought the first captain's challenge was brilliant. I'm not so sure about this one.
Everyone's staring up at the screen on field.
Yeah.
Quite what they can make out from here. They're like a knee in there. Maybe was there a Papua New Guinea player?
But he can't have his knee there, can he? It's not as if he's played it. If you've stripped the ball out with your hand or so, fair dues, but he can't have his knee there. That'll go to Papua New Guinea. It's just a waste of a challenge.
Yeah, it was Watson Boas. So yeah, as you say, waste of the challenge. Shake of the head from Sean Wayne just in front of us.
I think he's saying, Herbie Farnworth, you've had your lot now. That's you not challenging anymore.
Yeah.
Just run with the ball and tackle. That's your job.
Yeah, Herbie Farnworth has wasted the challenge that time. So Papua New Guinea hold the ball in the scrum, then they break, come to this left-hand side with Lamb, onto Olam, trying to get on the outside of his man. Big fend, but Watkins came in, the second man, and finished off the tackle. Watson Boas picking down this left-hand side. He is tackled on the 30 inside the England half. Dom Young that time along with Bateman. Johnston sweeps the ball into Lamb. Rattled in are these Cummels who have shown plenty of spirit and heart, particularly in this second half. Wanting a quicker play the ball, Watson Boas. Out to this left-hand side. Again, it's a solid carry from Alec, who's left on the floor.
Solid defence though as well, isn't it? Hit underneath the ball and actually put him back. So great work, great concentration and application, England, to the defensive aspect of the game.
Yeah, just under 12 minutes remaining, 42 points to nil, but they want to retain that nil. Big fizzing ball to Olam, nice kick back against the grain. Was that played at?
Yes, it was. Yeah. He just tried to poke it through, didn't he, Justin Olam, but as he did so, he was being successful initially. And then I think it was Wellesby who just hacked it over the sideline.
So ball back here for PNG.
Yep.
They will get some chances to take stock of this England line.
This is good, this is what England wants. Preparation for the semi-final and final. This is what they need to be put under some pressure. See how they handle it.
Well, they're certainly being put under the pump here. Well, they're standing up for it at the moment. Taken in by Alec at the back. Johnston rolls the kick in behind. Will that outrun the chaser? No. Jimmy Nunlick, I think, might just have got his hand to that. And they point for the try, so England's defensive resistance finally buckles. And Jimmy Nunlick was the fastest to it. Well, great kick from Johnston.
It really has got some pace. I thought the kick was much too hard, you know, from Johnston. But my word, he can catch pitches out on that wing, can't he, Jimmy Nunlick? And he did do. My only question was about the grounding, whether it was a valid grounding. And but obviously the referee was in a great position to see it. And great position to see it, and is awarded the try.
23,179 the attendance here at the DW for this double header. Really good signs.
Yeah, and that was a smart piece of play, wasn't it? Just put toe poke through, and it was England edge defence was coming up and in. And one way of diffusing the problem when it's a defence like that is just to put the kick in, and Alex Johnson did that. I thought it was much too hard, but that's quick pace, isn't it, from Nutlick? And what a great kick as well from Rhys Martin. He can kick goals, can't he?
Oh, he might have missed out on a world record, but goodness me, he can boot them. And Jimmy Nutlick, who West Tigers winger, no doubt he'll be seeing some action over the coming years, because looks too good a talent to be walking about with the Magpies in New South Wales Cup.
Well, his pace is unbelievable, isn't it? Really quick there. And that was demonstrated amply in that. And, you know, PNG restored some pride there. 6 apiece, isn't it, the second half? I know the game had gone 36-0 at half-time, but this is more like, when we were speaking prior to the game, Matt, more like that we expected, in all honesty.
Yeah, Papua New Guinea coming out the blocks and showing some fight, giving England a test defensively. The rainbow's up and behind the stand. That pot of gold at the end of it will be that semi-final down at the Emirates. Get your tickets in, because I mean, that's going to be class, isn't it? The home of Arsenal Football Club. Genuinely elite level stadium, and England are going to be playing a World Cup semi-final there.
Yep. Against a very, very good Tongan or Samoan team.
Yeah, if you're Matt Parrish, if you're Christian Wolf, and you're watching this at home, what are your takeaways?
My takeaways are, I'd want to win tomorrow first.
That's a very good takeaway, but
my takeaway would be you've got to match their start, Matt. You've got to match, because the momentum of the game totally went lopsided, didn't it, in that first 30 minutes? So you must match England's start. That'd be my biggest takeaway from that. But I'd be more worried about, if I was the Samoan coach, more worried about Tonga, and if I was Christian Wolf, vice versa as well.
Absolutely. He might have done a little bit of early scouting, though. You never know. Nobody wants to preempt anything, presume. As England and John Bateman edged to within 5 metres of these Papua New Guinea posts here. Victor Radley in at acting half, just to the right of the sticks. Back to Wellesby in centre field. Oh, slides out to Williams, who takes it and then skids along the turf. Back to the middle he comes, just setting his side a bit of a point to work off last tackle here. They'll come down that left-hand side with Tompkins. It's a flat kick. Oh, it's been pounced, and they're away here. Not got an awful lot of gas. The player's in touch. Well, and England get away with that one. It was Dan Russell trying to scorch down the line, but...
Yep. The big red. Yeah, I think that sums up PNG's afternoon, doesn't it? There's a kick across. Papua New Guinea, they field it cleanly. There's fresh air in front of them. They try to take it on the outside. Sam Tompkins quick enough to get across, and he ends up pushing the big red, Dan Russell, over the sideline. So England once again have got ball deep inside the PNG half. I'm certain they'll be looking to win this half as well, will England, so they might step it up a little bit.
Yep, Papua New Guinea's players representing their home nation. Their fanatical crowds back at home.
And it's interesting as well that Radley's gone back out there, you know, as a 9. He's playing, so that again is a what-if scenario that Sean Wayne is answering.
Yeah, Radley surveys his options as Burgess almost backs his way over the line here. He's got Lees winding up maybe. It goes short to him. Oh, it's just about held out. Radley again peeks over his left shoulder this time. Swept into the hands of Tompkins, who approaches the 10, then finds Williams. Williams booms the pass. Here comes Makinson. Oh, what a finisher this guy is. Takes it into the corner and scores. 5 tries up for him. 46-6 for England. Whoa, semi-finals, here we come.
Well, what a fantastic try that was, wasn't it? The skill and execution there was perfect. You know, the ball, it was moved from right to left, but it's Williams' assessment of the situation that you've got to admire there, because he absolutely summed up the PNG defence coming up and in, and it was a face pass across a number of players that found Makinson holding his chalk out on the left-hand side. And what a finish, Makinson. You know, it really comes onto the ball, and just as it does when he's bringing it out from his own end, he commits himself to the carry consistently. And he certainly did that and crossed in the corner. And I'm certain England feel much, much better now, because they're not only hammered the PNG side in the first half, they're also winning the second half 10-6. So 46-6 overall. Makinson's kick from the sideline to come.
Yep, and the afternoon he's having, you wouldn't bet against it, would you? Well, slot in this one.
That's a really interesting area, you know, because New Zealand can't hit a barn door. We've got Nathan Cleary, who's sadly off his form with his kicking. And we've got Toy Makinson, who you wouldn't say it's Johnny Wilkinson-esque, would you? You know, it's... so that's one area I'm sure that those top 3 ranked teams will be looking to address.
Yeah, it's been the Achilles, not the Achilles here, it's probably a bit harsh, but it's been...
Of the top teams, it has, yeah, it has. You've got to turn 4s into 6s. The great Wigan team who played here when Andy Farrell or Frano Botica played, inevitably 4 went to 6, and unfortunately there Makinson hits the points and the 4 remains at 4.
Yep, smack the left upright, still wobbling here. few fans maybe heading for the exits. A few, the England women's players making their way around the ground to applause, which is nice to see as they head for their coach. Few players heading for the, fans heading for the exits. No players are heading for the exits yet. Sean Wayne and Chris Hill just chatting down at pitch side. 4 minutes to go. England have a 40-point margin here in a World Cup quarter-final. Well, they've increasingly put points on Papua New Guinea in their 3 meetings, and now it's all kicking off.
Yeah, it's on. Something's been said. There's a bit of confrontation physically initially.
Yeah, a bit of push and shove on the floor.
And then something was said, and it'll be interesting to see this. And interestingly, the big screen's gone blank.
I'm not showing you any bad stuff.
That might be the World Cup organisers trying to keep.
Sanitise it. Yeah. I tell you what, that rainbow is quite impressive, isn't it? It's just sort of really rich rainbow ahead, and the skies which are rapidly increasing. It's gone from murky to fairly pleasant, hasn't it? Here at the DW.
Well, we're still trying to find out what went on. Tommy Makers certainly having his say to the England physio, Matty Crowther.
Yeah, Liam.
It's a heavy challenge. That's a legal challenge. Nothing wrong with that with Rhys Martin. It's just a good challenge.
The difference of opinion. What was that, an elbow?
It is an elbow.
Yeah. England don't need to lose players.
No, not when you're in the semi-final. If you've got one on the chops, cop it and get on with it. If you want to play in a World Cup semi-final, but there, it's just petulant.
Yeah, not doing themselves any favours here, England.
It's Morgan Knowles, isn't it?
I mean, he's a tough boy, and you will know that as much as anybody in Wales, ex-Wales.
Yeah, he's very tough. Well, this will be redemption for him as well. He played in the 2017 World Cup when PNG bet Wales 50 points to 6, so he'll be enjoying this in a sauna, basically.
Yeah, not quite Port Moresby today, is it? So Tommy Makinson, 58 points in this World Cup, level with Nathan Cleary. And far fewer goals from that tally as well. And unsurprisingly, he's the man of the match with his 5 tries. So a minute and a half to go. Papua New Guinea looking for a further consolation here.
Well, let's see the test the resolve of England here. Last minute 20. You've got the game under wraps by 40 points. Do you still want to keep your goal line nice and squeaky clean?
Yeah, you sense they will, and I think they will fancy that Sean Wayne might be preoccupied with one thought if they don't. Despite all the good work. Inside the final minute then here, set restart, hooter sounds, and that's another set of 6 for Papua New Guinea. Rooking at infringement, messing about that play the ball. So England 43 seconds and counting to see out here. Here come Papua New Guinea again. They certainly throw plenty at you physically. Ball comes loose. Liam Moore calls the knock on. Half a minute to play.
Yeah, I don't think either, there's 30 seconds in there to form the scrum. I don't think either team will be in a hurry to do that because England, it's objective achieved. Papua New Guinea will realise that they've achieved their objective of the competition to get in the quarter-finals and qualify for 2025. But it's been pretty comprehensive, hasn't it, Matt? Let's face it. But that first 40 minutes of England was as good as I've seen England play. Well, I can't remember the last time I saw them play as well as that. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and in a way, if you can get the job done in 30 minutes, fair enough. But yeah, as you say, England would have been probably. I mean, Sean Wayne would definitely, as you say, have been wanting. I mean, he'll enjoy this. Any coach would enjoy winning by 40 points, but I think he'll see the greater need, perhaps, of physical test.
What it will do, he'll be able to pat them on the back, but he'll also be able to smarten them up, which is exactly what you want as a coach. Lots of positives, but some negatives. Let's sort the negatives out.
So 20 seconds, 21 seconds to go. So said So Solid crew back in the day.
Well, let's get a kick on and let's see how quick Dom Young is against this Jimmy
Nutlick and co. Oh, so Williams has hacked it now, Beard. It is a foot race. England chasing after it. Oh, it denied the big finale, the Rumbelow Sprint Challenge, or whatever you want to call it, in the end.
Yeah, I wish it had been this other side, that's all. But
well, we would have seen Jimmy Nutlick there. The countdown is on. England into the semi-finals of a home Rugby League World Cup with an utterly convincing demolition of Papua New Guinea. 46 points to 6. They are headed for the final four. It's Samoa or Tonga to come. Chonkir, Seanway's side are keeping their side of the bargain.
That was a statement of intent, no doubt about that. A statement of intent from England in that first 40 minutes. I thought the first 30 minutes was as good as I've seen from any England team during my time in Rugby League. But ultimately, the second half, it was bound to lull a bit after the excitement and the quality of the first half. But as you rightly say, job done, semi-finals achieved, great performance, things to improve upon as well.
So England's players, some muddied, some dirtied, some bruised, some battered, no doubt as well. Just exchanging handshakes and pleasantries now. Now that the dust has started to settle on this contest, we're hoping to grab a player at the moment. Just the celebrations ongoing here at the DW Stadium, and fair play to Chris Hill, who again has churned out the meters this afternoon. Chris Hill, thanks for joining us. Chris, what do you make of that? You're into the semi-finals.
Yeah, pretty impressive really. Thought first 20, 25, probably 30. I think we really put a stamp on the game and probably blew them away a little bit. And that was our focus all week.
And what about, Chris, the maintaining of the performance over the 40 minutes? Were you satisfied with that, or do you feel a little disappointed that you might well have just dropped in the second half?
Yeah, maybe, and I knew they was going to come out and really give it to us in the second half. The pride of PNG and